Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. We are all faced with a series of great opportunities brilliantly disguised as impossible situations. Think first. Talk less. Start today. The difference between something good and something great is attention to detail. We have a choice every day regarding the attitude we will embrace for the day. Life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. Our attitude is everything. Anything under God's control is never out of control. Real integrity stays in place whether the test in adversity or prosperity. Vision is the ability to see God's presence, to perceive God's power, to focus on God's plan in spite of the obstacles. Leaders need to cultivate two things: a righteous heart and a rhinoceros skin. Only you can determine your choice of attitude. Choose wisely, choose carefully, choose confidently. God's timing is always on time. Choose to view life through God's eyes. Encourage one another. Many times a word of praise or thanks or appreciation or cheer has kept people on their feet. We are often so caught up in our activities that we tend to worship our work, work at our play, and play at our worship. The stronger the winds, the deeper the roots, and the longer the winds, the more beautiful the tree. On tough days, you gotta have heart. Don't quit, whatever you do. Persevere. Patience is a bitter plant that produces sweet fruit. God also allows suffering so that we might learn what it means to depend on Him, not on our own strength and resources. Don't expect wisdom to come into your life like great chunks of rock on a conveyor belt. Wisdom comes privately from God as a byproduct of right decisions, godly reactions, and the application of spiritual principles to daily circumstances. It is in lonely solitude that God delivers His best thoughts, and the mind needs to be still and quiet to receive them. Worry is a complete waste of energy. It solves nothing. Friends make life a lot more fun. The decision to give ourselves to others is a daily taking up of the cross. Hope is like an anchor. Our hope in Christ stabilizes us in the storms of life, but unlike an anchor, it does not hold us back. The happiest people I know are the ones who have learned how to hold everything loosely and have given the worrisome, stress-filled, fearful details of their lives into God's keeping. Excellence, moral, ethical, personal excellence is worth whatever it costs. First impressions never have a second chance. Thanksgiving is a time of quiet reflection, an annual reminder that God has, again, been ever so faithful. The solid and simple things of life are brought into clear focus. One of the marks of maturity is the ability to disagree without becoming disagreeable. Prejudice is a learned trait. You're not born prejudiced, you're taught it. It helps me if I remember that God is in charge of my day, not I. When God is involved, anything can happen. Be open. Stay that way. God has a beautiful way of bringing good vibrations out of broken chords. We are in charge of our attitudes. Each day of our lives we make deposits in the memory banks of our children. Pride leaves no room for grace. Alleged impossibilities are opportunities for our capacities to be stretched. Lead with action and let the feelings follow. Words can never adequately convey the incredible impact of our attitudes toward life. The longer I live, the more convinced I become that life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we respond to it. Nothing speaks louder or more powerfully than a life of integrity. Good listeners believe they can learn something from everyone. Worry erases the promises of God from your mind. Humility, the discipline of putting others ahead of self, the choice to value others above self, is, at its core, a matter of faith. Leadership is influence. To the extent we influence others, we lead them. Encouragement is awesome. Think about it. It has the capacity to lift a man's or a woman's shoulders. To breathe fresh air into the fading embers of a smoldering dream. To actually change the course of another human being's day, week, or life.